With Shenmue III being on the works, let's check out some of the interesting facts surrounding the series. The first game takes place in the city of Yokosuka, that after the Second World War has been the home to the US 7th Fleet, so looking for sailors actually makes sense, even though Ryo could have chosen better words, but it is kind of a fact that Ryo sucks with words. The jacket Ryo uses is a good example of something you'd find in Yokosuka even today. After the war, the military fashion became popular in Japan, especially in Yokosuka, with American soldiers having Japanese designs sewed in their jackets. The Japanese voice for Iwao, Ryo's dad, was done by Hiroshi Fujioka, also known as Segata Sanshiro. You know who he is, right? I mean, you should. Ryo hates carrots.
Okay, I'll eat them.
You can find Santa wandering around near Christmas. You can actually get a game over in both games if you take too long to make progress.
Give it to me now. Not a chance. If that's the way you want it, I'll just take it from you. I will avenge my father's death. The mirror. I shall take your power for the Chio.
In the Japanese version, the vending machines actually have Coke products instead of Bellwood's drinks. In the capsule toys you can find characters from several Sega games like Virtua Fighter, Virtua Fighter Kids, Sonic, Knights, Fantasy Zone, Bonanza Brothers, Ristar, Galaxy Force, Super Hang-On, Alex Kidd, Space Harrier, Daytona USA, Altered Beast, Panzer Dragoon, Rent-A-Hero, and this thing. You are supposed to lose, but you can actually win the first fight against Chai in the arcade. The trip from Japan to Hong Kong would cost about $1,300. Now, considering this brand exists since 1951 and Shenmue looks at least 15 years old on the illustration, and the fact that the game takes place in the 80s, then by the time she meets Ryo, she must be around 50 years old. In Shenmue II you go to Kowloon, which is supposed to be the Kowloon walled city, but despite some minor things, the Shenmue version is completely different than what the real thing was. By the time Shenmue II takes place, the Kowloon walled city was a cramped city with narrow corridors and barely any empty space, where getting any sunlight was impossible unless you went to the roof of the buildings, and there would be people everywhere all the time. While in Shenmue the whole place looks kind of abandoned and crumbling with precarious footing, in reality the walled city was quite organized and quite functional, considering the installations of course. Lighting was poor, and there was no effort to hide all the wiring and pipe systems on the city, or even try to organize it. It wasn't clean, it wasn't pretty, but everything worked, until the government decided to bring the whole place down in 1993. Of course, reproducing Kowloon exactly as it was wouldn't work for Shenmue. Even reproducing it today for a game would prove to be quite a challenge, so they did an interpretation of it, and hey, it ended up being incredible. Lan Di had absolutely no reason to escape here. He could have jumped, killed Ryo, and taken the mirror. Now what is there left to answer? Well, quite a lot of things actually, but as for the main ones, did Iwao really kill Lan Di's father? Will the mirrors really resurrect an ancient monster? Who is Shenmue, and what is her relation to the whole thing? Oh, and just in case you forgot, Shenmue is the name of a tree. That tree. It will probably appear a lot on Shenmue III. Well, at least it should. It's the game's name after all.